Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you in that order. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego site, Tier 2 Blue Mountain chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. So if you are a subscriber, you can throw that in there. That would be nice. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can throw in other people's emotes. You can just say hi. If you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It's a Thursday night. We're hanging out. We're building a model kit. We're chit-chatting. We're going to work on the Gaia Gundam high grade from Gundam Seed Destiny. Yes. And Aristofan is here, subscribing Tier 2, 73 months. So let's also throw the Bear Cave Lego site, Tier 2 Blue Mountain in the chat, and thank Aristofan. Thank you so much, Aristofan, for that. Also, Aristofan just gifted subs, so let's also give a cheer and say thank you to that. So Aristofan gifted 5 subs, which means a bonus sub was gifted out. We added 1 gift sub and a bonus gift sub to Aristofan's gift, which means, wait, that means 7 gift subs were given out. I don't know how this fucking works. But MWGNZ, Foams, Danny Kings, 69, nice. Bakun, Lone Shark Jolly, Currywurst, and Ryan Simmons, 6'6". I know Ryan. Shout outs to Ryan. I don't know if you're here. I don't know. So as far as I was understood, if you gift 5 gift subs, not only do you join the list and number go up, which is great because we're currently at 34. The goal is to get to 40. We're now at 34. That's awesome. A number go up, but also if you give 5, not cumulative 5, then another gift sub is handed out. But right now, that's 7. And so I don't know if that was because it was the first time someone gifted a sub or what. The only way to find out is for someone else to also gift 5 gift subs. You don't have to. Don't. But also, Aristofan, thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you. And welcome people that got gifted subs. Yeah, I don't know how that works. But a bunch of people got gifted subs, and now I'm at 45 subscribers, or 34, I should say, 34 subscribers, which rules. So thank you very much. And also, if you're new and you want to subscribe, you get 25% off your first subscription there for the month, and it goes on more. There are rules here. Let me see this rule thing. On September, make it bigger. Discounts apply first. Applies to new 1-month community gift sub purchases of 5 or more. Bonus gift subs are granted to the community in the same tier as purchased. Cannot be gone. We'll add 1 gift sub for every 5 gift subs. Yeah, so I don't know. Aristofan, I appreciate it very much. So again, I don't know why 2 gift subs were given, but that did happen. The second bonus could be random. It could be, again, because it was the first gift subs. I don't know. We'll find out if anyone else gifts 5 subs. We'll know. But also, that's great. That's so wild and cool. And I appreciate that. Also, 160 in gifted is wild. So congratulations for that, Aristofan. That's a lot of subs. And that does very much support the channel. It does quite a bit. So thank you very much. So we're going to work on the Gaia Gundam. We completed the top half of the kit and weapon and shield. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. We also did 1 leg, which is weird bendy because this kit has a like an animal mode, a 4-legged mode, I guess you would say. It doesn't have a flight mode. It's got a crawling mode. I don't know. An off-road mode, I guess you would say. So we have to like build the legs interestingly because that way it works out. We got some stickers left to put on. Let's go to the overhead. Boom, it's the overhead. So right off the bat, right in the beginning, right as we start here, let me just check one thing. Okay, right. We do need to talk about Eric Adams. New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, still the mayor, despite the previous few weeks and particularly last night. Eric Adams, still the mayor of New York, has been indicted on 5 counts in federal court, and we'll go over that. Eric Adams, not my mayor, the clearly Republican running as a Democrat, the former cop, the tough on crime, bring our streets, our city back. We got to give our city its flavor again, which of course meant, let's see, that's D. Wait, what happened here? I grabbed the wrong one. That's not what I wanted. That was B. I grabbed B by mistake. I'm going to need B later, so I'll put B aside. The mayor, that wanted New York City to get its swagger back, which meant telling businesses they couldn't demand that people wore masks, various other shenanigans. Eric Adams, the guy who just pumped so much money into the New York Police Department in various ways, trying to make sure that the libraries couldn't be open on Saturday. Yes, their budget. Hey, Lord Crashington, their budget was really, really causing so many problems to New York. But yeah, he got indicted, and the police commissioner got indicted in New York, and the Secretary of Education, I believe, as well. Thursday morning alleges this was unsealed Thursday morning. Excuse me. Really late last night, alleged that he solicited and accepted freebies and illegal campaign donations from wealthy foreigners, including Turkish officials. As far back as 2014, he has been for sale for many, many years. And I believe that a lot of this came to light specifically because Turkish officials were trying to bribe a building inspector who got fucking pissed off that they kept bothering him, and that eventually, I believe, threatening him, supposedly, allegedly, that he was like, fuck off, fuck this, who do you think you are? Which is very 100% my experience with folks like that that work in that industry. As a reminder, I've said this before. New York City inspectors get paid either way, so they don't have to do shit. They just get paid. They don't have to approve your thing. They don't have to give you a second chance. They don't have to do anything they don't want to do. They get paid no matter what. So, 1,000 approvals, 2 approvals. Doesn't matter to them. He was elected in 2021. I did not vote for Mayor Adams. Let's see. Okay, so, yes, this is what it is. In exchange for various things, part of the complaint is that he pressured the leader of the trash revolution. Yes, he pressured the fire department in New York to approve the opening of a new Turkish consulate building in the city without a fire inspection. In addition, his campaign used those illegal campaign donations to steal public funds through New York City's matching funds, according to the indictment. So that's also probably where some of the other things come in, where some of the other people come in, because basically it's saying, well, they treated these funds as not illegal and did matching, which then means that then they stole from taxpayers. Those allegations represent the core of the federal indictment, charging Adams with 5 counts of bribery, wire fraud, conspiracy, and 2 counts of soliciting campaign contributions from foreign nations, or nationals, I should say. Adams denied wrongdoing, says he did not plan to resign. Because, of course, he would deny it, and he's not going to step down. He is now the first ever acting mayor to be indicted. Have other mayors been indicted? Of fucking course they have. Were they in office at the time? No. And this is, again, federal, which is harder for him to make go away. That's a much more difficult thing for him to make these accusations disappear, because he's, of course, the federal stuff. State stuff, you can move some things around. What's the governor going to do? She's already incredibly unpopular. This could be huge for her if she puts pressure on him or other New York City officials to move this shit along. Yes, Lord Crashington, this incredibly corrupt man, clearly corrupt man, was like, oh, they're trying to get to me. The federal government is trying to take me down. And it was like, okay, sure they are. Yes, they're definitely targeting you for no reason. Sure. This indictment, this document is huge. I did not read through the whole thing. One of the things that's very interesting to me is the part where there is documents about people telling him that he should delete messages because they could be used against him, and him being like, oh, I know, which he clearly didn't do because they have those messages. So good job. And then there's also the thing where apparently someone approached one of his aides who was like, I don't know if Mayor Adams would be interested in this. And then he came back later saying, actually, Mayor Adams is very much into this and is definitely down, which was like, oh, okay, good. Ghostfell says, hi, Ghostfell. Quick info about the gift subs. There's not a huge amount of info other than that the amount of bonuses seems inconsistent. It reminds me of the bonus bits where it can be more than the amount gifted. Saw earlier 10 gifts, get an additional 16 from Twitch. Okay. All right. So I'm going to change what Nightbot says then to say that. I mean, it's only for a few days, and I don't expect to get a ton more gifted subs, but it's nice. Gift 5 subs and an unknown amount of bonus subs will be given. Great. Don't sign up on Twitch's app. Reminder. I also at least 1 per 5. Yeah. So we got 2, but at least 1. I don't know how many it's going to be, but now my September notification says from now until October 21st, 25% off new subs. Gift 5, or it says I spelled gift wrong, so that's on me. I got to change that. Gift 5 subs, and an unknown amount of bonus subs will be given. I need to change that because I worded this improperly. So we got to change that to say gift 5 subs and an unknown amount, a random question mark amount of bonus subs will be given. Great. Now we're good. Need to have ChatGPT write up these Nightbot messages. No, Lord Crashington, we don't need that. We'll talk about AI in a bit. Sadly. Let's see. Okay. 57-page, 1,500-word indictment. Let's see. A lot of this is to conceal what he did. Adams sought out and accepted benefits. That's the other thing, right? It's not just that he caved under the, that people, but he solicited this. This is part of the thing with Adams was it was very clear that he was trying to get this shit, on the books, trying to make this stuff happen, pursuing this. He was clearly for sale and has been for sale. Lone Shadow says, thanks for the gifted sub, but I go back to lurking. Hell yeah. Enjoy your gifted sub, enjoy your emotes, and not seeing ads before the stream starts for a whole month, which is real fun. No pre-roll for you, and all that. Yeah, enjoy. Enjoy emotes and enjoy the shadows. Go back to lurking. Between 2016 and 2023, he committed 23 different, according to the documents here, overt acts, which include accepting free flights and hotel rooms and coordinating straw donations. Yeah, like making it easier for them to give him that money, of course. Prosecutors say foreign nationals were able to sidestep federal law and conceal their campaign donations through these straw donors, U.S.-based donors who falsely claimed they were contributing their own money. So again, this could spread out where basically, they invented people or had people lie saying that they were donating, but instead it was actually, but in reality, it was, of course, these foreign nationals giving that money to Eric Adams. All right, we got to put on this sticker. I put this on upside down. It's got to go in like that. Now we got to put on a sticker that folds around, which I do not enjoy, but we do what we got to do. We do what we must. Let's see. Free tickets and upgrades to business class on international flights for the mayor and his associates. Free stays at opulent hotels, meals at high-end restaurants, and other luxurious entertainment while in Turkey, which, is obviously fucked. These are fucked things. 2017, Adams allegedly accepted free business class tickets for 3 round trips international flights and heavily discounted stay at a suite at the St. Regis in Istanbul. The trip was worth over $41,000, and Adams did not disclose it. So again, you gotta disclose that shit, and obviously he did not want to disclose that shit. So that's fucked. All right, so I start by putting this here and lining this up like this, and then we'll do our best to line these up. And then that lets me put this on here and fold this around and fold this around and then fold that there. Great. Did this better this time than I did on the previous, which I still did fine. But yeah, that was a lot easier. Great. We'll panel line this because there's some purple in there that will be seen in the transformation. So we'll just give this a quick little panel line. Then we'll move on to the next step, building the rest of the leg. He accepted over $123,000 worth of luxury travel benefits between 2016 and 2021, which, of course, he, again, did not disclose. By 2018, the mayor allegedly not only accepted, but sought out illegal campaign contributions to his 2021 mayoral campaign, as well as other things of value from foreign nationals. He accepted contributions of foreign money to his 2025 campaign. He was already looking ahead. He was already raising illegal funds for his re-election, apparently, because he was looking to run again next year. In exchange, Adams allegedly pressured the fire department in New York to open a Turkish consulate, as I said. They urged Adams to pressure FDNY to facilitate the opening of a new Turkish consulate building, consular building, I should say. Building would have failed an expansion. An FDNY employee said about the building having some major issues. And apparently Adams was just like, hey, make this happen. That day, the chief of the fire department allegedly told the fire prevention chief that they would both lose their jobs if they did not help secure a certificate for the building. The prevention chief then drafted a conditional letter of no objection to the insurance, which was not standard procedure. And then that skyscraper did open. Apparently, it did happen. Tried to conceal the conduct from public by allegedly creating fake paper trails, deleting messages, and changing his phone password. His phone got confiscated at some point last year, I believe. And so then they went into panic mode, tried to make all that shit go away, which of course they were not successful in doing. Let's see, JKI, that's his I here. Right, that's I. Yeah, JKL. Wait. PCI. Oh, I is here. There we go. Need that. This is L. Do I need L here? I don't think I need L. No, I need J and G. Or C. J and C. Great. Put those there. Put those there. Put... Oh, what happened? Where'd that go? Polycap that I just took out. The polycap I. Anybody know what I did with it? I need B and... Oh, here it is. It bounced off of my here. He's been a cop for a long time, so I don't know why he think messages wouldn't be easily accessed even they're deleted on his phone. Yeah, I don't know. My only assumption is that he just didn't think he'd ever actually get caught for any of this. Maybe he convinced himself it wasn't a crime. Maybe he convinced himself he's above the law by being, one could imagine perhaps by being mayor, he thought, this shit that he had been doing previously as just a high up in the police force, it would, he'd be able to push that stuff away as he continued his political career, that he would be able to make those things disappear, like actually getting that building done. Yeah, Lashbrook, I believe he didn't for a really long time, and then eventually did start trying to cover his tracks. But again, at that point, that's not like that. Too late. That's just too late to get that shit done. Adams and others took steps to conceal the scheme even after they learned about the federal investigation last November, apparently. Let's see, what does it say? I'm reading on CNN, by the way. Adams' staffer left to go to the bathroom and delete encrypted messages apps she had used to communicate with Adams and others. This is during an interview with investigators. This staffer went to the bathroom and deleted messaging apps that encrypt during the interview. They changed the passcode on his personal cell phone, not his work cell phone. When investigators issued a search warrant for Adams' electronics devices on November 6th, he didn't have his personal phone with him. He provided it to investigators the next day because he'd been subpoenaed to do so, but it was locked and required a password. Adams said he had changed the password a day earlier to prevent members of his staff from inadvertently or intentionally deleting the contents of his phone. So his defense was, I changed it so no one else could impede this. And it's like, sure you did, dude. Sure, dude. Sure. Oh, no, I'm just looking out for y'all. Man. Right now, he is, if convicted on all counts, he is looking up to 45 years in prison. The most serious charge is of these. So weirdly enough, the accepting money from foreign nationals and covering it up is not the most serious charge. It's wire fraud. And if they can get you on wire fraud, you are toast. They will fucking get you. Which comes with a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. The charge stemmed from allegations that Adams stole from New York City's matching funds program. And now let me read what that means so that you can be pissed off like I was pissed off when I read about this earlier today. The program is designed to give New Yorkers a greater voice in elections and matches donations from city residents with public funds, but is prohibited for use of straw donations according to the indictment. So basically, he matched city funds with donations that were given to his own campaign via straw donors for these foreign nationals, these Turkish nationals. And that's fucked. That's some fucked shit right there. That's some fuck off shit right there. Just like, okay, yeah. Good job. Indictment alleges Adams not only received illegal campaign contributions. Sorry, let me just make sure I'm doing this part of the leg right, because these legs have to bend weird for the transformation. So I got to make sure I'm doing it right. This other one went on real easy, so why are you being weird? There you go. Now you're not being weird. Hooray. Okay, let's do the other part here while I continue to read these goddamn allegations. Indictment alleges Adams not only received legal campaign contributions, but he then allegedly used 8 of those improper donations to apply for matching funds and obtained as much as $2,000 for each illegal contribution. So it wasn't like, you count those up and that's not an insane amount of money, but it is money that was supposed to be matched for other contributions that were done, legally. Indictment does not total the amount of matching public funds he allegedly received directly. He received more than $10 million in public funds from the city's matching funds program, according to the indictment. Bribery is pursuable up to 10 years in prison. That charge relates to alleged quid pro quo of receiving luxury travel benefits from the Turkish official in exchange for pushing the approval of the Turkish House. The 2 counts of soliciting campaign contributions from foreign nationals are each punishable by up to 5 years in prison. So it is not that fucking illegal, apparently. Apparently, this is not super illegal. One charge is based on allegations in 2021, and the other is based on allegations in 2023. Finally, there is a conspiracy charge, which is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. That charge alleges Adams and others, known and unknown, agreed to commit federal offenses, including wire fraud, soliciting, accepting, and receiving campaign contributions, and bribery. The indictment lists 23 specific overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy. Just so you know, conspiracy. What is my experience with conspiracy charges, Pat? Well, thank you. I'll let you know. Not that I have been have ever been indicted for conspiracy, but I have served on a grand jury. And let me tell you, to build a case for conspiracy, you have to have a lot of goddamn evidence. The paper trail can be thin. When you are trying to stack charges, the paper trail can be pretty thin. But this is just my experience working on a grand jury for an indictment for conspiracy and theft and a bunch of other things. The conspiracy charges were the ones that they were most they had to really spell it out, because they were afraid that grand jury members wouldn't get it or understand it. So to do all that traces, what I'm trying to say is a lot of work had to go into making sure that that's gonna stick to go this far. So there must be mountains of evidence to support a conspiracy charge. It's fucking wild, y'all. And I don't want to say that I'm happy, but I do feel good about it. As always, friends, I don't live in New York right now, but I did live in New York for 19 fucking years. It is still the place that I have lived the longest. I lived in New York slightly longer than I lived in Connecticut. um, where I was born, which is wild. Um, so yeah, still think of myself as a New Yorker. Still happy to see memes and the photo of Eric Adams and P. Diddy and someone saying they've got to recreate that in federal prison. Made me very happy to see people dunking on anyone that ever thought that Adams was like a response to what real New Yorkers wanted, and yada, 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 and all of that bullshit. All that stuff makes me laugh. I didn't expect to spend so much time talking about it, but I had to. Um, hey, so two things. Um, Nintendo. At least he introduced trash cans to New York City before we go into yes, yeah, yes. Brought trash cans back to New York. Uh, um, Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto, I should say. Shigeru Miyamoto doesn't think that AI is something that that Nintendo is going to explore. I have a follow-up to that I will say in a moment, but let me start with what he said, which is the rise of AI has been prominent, including in the game industry and development of projects. This is from the New York Times. He was at a media event for the Nintendo Museum in Japan. He was discussing Nintendo's general approach and looking to find what makes the company special. Nintendo would rather go in a different direction than using that tech. It might seem like we were just going the opposite direction for sake of going the opposite direction, but it really is trying to find what makes Nintendo special. There is a lot of talk about AI, for example. When that happens, everyone starts to go in the same direction, and that is where Nintendo would rather go a different direction. I should also say that while Nintendo seems to not want to be using AI at a company level, they are using AI. Specifically, they have worked with a company that searches for AI images on the internet that would to then send takedown notices if those images were used with AI for Nintendo properties. And I believe they sent a cease and desist to The Verge that uses an AI generated image for a story about AI generated images. And you're like, well, Pat, that doesn't sound like AI. That they hired a company to track down these AI uses of their intellectual property. Here's the thing: that company uses AI to search for AI images. Now, are they using AI the same way? No, but they are using AI technology to find those images. So, in a sense, Nintendo is paying a company to use artificial intelligence, in scare quotes, to find examples of artificial intelligence. So, it not a perfect system, is what I'm saying. That was a small little thing. Unfortunately, I will talk about some layoffs. There have been some layoffs in the gaming industry since we last talked about that stuff on Monday. Mountaintop, the folks that brought you their first game that came out on Steam literally this month, Spectre Divide. They have laid off 13 employees. They tried to use the term redundancy, and I don't know how you can have redundancy in a small company like that, but apparently you do. People get made redundant. Again, that's just fucking buzzword bullshit. They laid them off. Mountaintop CEO Nate Mitchell said the reductions would make sure we're set up to support Spectre and its community for the long term by reducing the amount of people you have to pay money to. That sounds fucked. That sounds fucked up. That sounds bad, and you should feel bad about that. We can't thank these team members enough for their hard work and dedication to Spectre these past few years. I mean, you could thank them more than you are. You know, you laid them off. That's actually not thanking them, but sure, go off. It's a free-to-play title. 2 teams of 3 people against each other and allows them to simultaneously control 2 bodies at once. A bunch of people got laid off at Gamers, GAMURS, Gamers. 30 people have been laid off there. 30 people across the company. Being made in response to changing Google algorithms. Literally, they blamed Google changing its algorithms for them laying off 30 writers across their sites. That's ridiculous. They're going to be altering their pay structure for freelance writers to better reflect the value of longer, more in-depth work, and promises to share more details further down the line. And this is so basically they're like, oh, one thing we're doing is we're gonna like pay freelancers for longer pieces of writing, probably to fill the gap with the salaried and hourly employees that they just let go. So cool. That's awful. This shit is not great. And that's terrible. Let's see. So this is across Dot Esports, Destructoid, Twinfinite, the former Twinfinite managing editor woke up to an email, no phone call, got an email. Generic email that was received in the middle of the night. So they sent them to them in the evening. Hooray. Dot Esports Guide writer said that they were one many people laid off by the company. Destructoid's Jamie Sharp said the abrupt termination has left them absolutely broken, which is understandable. This should be former staffer. I got an email announcing Game Groups had terminated my employment effective immediately from Destructoid after just under 4 years as a staff writer, 2 weeks before my 3rd child is due to be born. So I hope that Jamie Sharp sues them. That's fucked. It's fucked. Dot Esports gaming editor Vic Hood noted they were also let go immediately and seemingly without notice. Woke up to an email that I've been let go from Dot Esports and Gamers this morning, effective immediately. I've just bought a house and I'm getting married next year. They own 14 publications, websites and such. And there was a report from Aftermath this year that it's a fucking garbage place to work, which is, again, when you think about this and their methodology, it is not super surprising that that place sucks to work at. This is from earlier in the year. There was the anonymous employee said in March, everyone is stressed out. Coworkers are randomly getting cut for performance issues week to week across all sites. The articles are all mindless. The only thing that matters is Google and what Google readers want. Creating a balance between work and life impossible, said one former employee. Ugh, that just, yeah. That's, yeah. I don't have anything funny or cute to say about that. That just sucks. It just fucking sucks. We do not know how, they did not at first publication know, or time of publication. This is from GameDeveloper.com. They did not know how many people let go, and further clarified that in an update to the article that it was 30 people have been let go. Real rough out there. In good gaming development news, it looks like Ubisoft employees in France are going to go on strike. They have the French union STJV has called for workers in France to strike for 3 days in October. So they are doing a small strike, not a continuous strike. The union wants employees to down tools on October 15th, 16th, and 17th. This is a protest walkout because apparently Ubisoft has announced a return to the office policy, which requires all staff to work in office 3 days each week. And of course, that makes it very difficult for some people who do not live anywhere near their nearest office. The policy has been rolled out without any tangible justification or any consultation with the workers' representatives. So they didn't talk to the union about this. They didn't give anybody a heads up. They didn't consult with anyone. They just said, "Hey, we're doing this," and again, did not do it in any timely manner, in any way, shape, or form. So they just decided this was going to work out. After more than 5 years working efficiently in current remote work context, many of our colleagues have built or rebuilt their lives, family life, housing, parenthood, etc., and simply cannot return to the previous working conditions. Our employer knows this perfectly well. The consequence of his decision will be the loss of our colleagues' jobs, the disorganization of many game projects, and the drastic increase in psychosocial risk for all those remain. The union also claims Ubisoft has failed negotiation for fair profit-sharing agreements with the employees and suggests management has refused to listen to staff concerns. So yeah, they're going to do a 3-day walkout, and I hope they shake Ubisoft to their fucking core and that they cave immediately. So, if you're wondering, like, well, what happens to all of those folks? Like, what do you mean they're going to go on strike for 3 days? Salaried workers can go on strike at any time without notice. All you have to do is not come to work on that day of the strike, says they said on their FAQ. The only requirement is that your employer must know about the strike demands before you step out. You stop working. When joining a national call to strike from representative unions, that is already taken care of. So basically, they're just like, yeah, all we have to do legally in France is tell them what our demands are before we walk out. And guess what? They did that. For a strike to be legal, at least 2 salaried workers must take part in it. The only exceptions are if the employee in the company's sole employee or if they are responding to a national call to strike. So, yeah. So basically, yeah, if you want to strike, if you're the only employee at a company, you could strike. It's okay. But otherwise, there need to be 2. You can't be the only one. They did walk out and protest earlier this year. They've already done this year because the raises being offered to them were so paltry and ridiculous that they basically walked out as if to let Ubisoft understand that was not going to fucking fly. And you know what? Good for them. Fuck yeah. Get that money, make that happen. You already work for a shit company, make the most of it. If you can get that bag, you should get that bag. All right, so I need A28, which are these, and A7, which are those. Great, got it. We are almost done with this kit. We're just about done here. I thought this was going to take the whole stream. I keep forgetting that this kit was not going to take too long because I don't have to panel line anything. Almost none of this needs panel lining because so much of it is black. And so it obviously is going to take less time than there's some stuff, but and there's some stickers I still have to put on and all that. So it might not be, we might not be immediately moving on to Lego, but we are going to move on to Lego next. I did run a poll for my $10 patrons about what I should build next, but after I sent that poll out, I went and checked the mail, and then there was a package in the mail from Aristofan, and I was like, oh, shit, hell yeah. So I'll be building a Lego Technic kit next. And then after that, I'll be doing what my $10 patrons voted for, which is kit bashing, the second ever kit bashing stream. I have a bunch of high grades that I'm not using for anything, and I have somewhat of an idea. What is that idea, Pat? You have to turn into the stream whenever I do it. You'll know then, because I have ideas of what I'm going to do with that. But I don't want to reveal it yet. I want to get, when we start, we'll do that. But I do have an idea of something I think would be cool. So we'll get to that when the time comes. Why won't you go in? Piece of plastic that needs to go into this plastic. Let's see. Will you fit on like this? Kind of will. Yeah, okay. Nope, you don't stay on, so. This is not going to work the way I want it to. I can try this. Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can do this without stabbing myself. All right. That went in. Now. There we go. That worked. Okay. So yeah, I hope they do, I hope the walkout works well and they get what they need. Another studio is part of the video game strike. Another studio has been pulled in. Formosa Interactive, which is an audio studio that worked on League of Legends, among other things. So this has been like reported as, oh, they're pulling in, oh, it's League of Legends and stuff. It's like, this is Riot Games. No, this is because of Formosa Interactive, and then therefore also Riot Games, but not specifically Riot Games to begin with there. SAG-AFTRA has called for a strike against League of Legends and filed an unfair labor practice charge against Formosa Interactive, an audio production company that has worked on Riot Games and dozens of other games. So yeah, they're a company that you can hire. Companies hire other companies all the time. The union accused Formosa of trying to subvert the strike that started in July. They tried to cancel one of its stuck video games shortly after the strike began. Formosa was told it could not cancel that project, after which it allegedly transferred the game into a shell company and then sought non-union talent for it. Because, again, they had a union contract for union employees, and they were like, well, we'll just shutter the project. And they were like, fuck off, don't do that. And so they went, well, we'll just transfer it over to another company, and then they'll hire non-union voice actors. And that'll be a solution that everyone will be happy with, I'm sure. It won't be a problem at fucking all. Formosa is one of the companies alongside EA, Insomniac Games, that bargained before the strike. Before now, League was an unstruck game because Formosa had agreed to accept after strike rules. And now, because of the strike, League's voice actors are basically, instructed to now not be doing any work for it. They worked on Helldivers 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. They worked on Ubisoft's games. And they do post-production audio in movies and TV. I should say, for the record, Riot said their game has nothing to do with it, which is true in the sense that they didn't tell Formosa to do that, but also they used Formosa for voice acting. So they are a part of it, even if they don't think they are. Um, and then Formosa fully rejects SAG-AFTRA's allegations, said it has not acted in any manner to undermine employees or union rights, nor a relationship with the union. The strike of League of Legends, a game unrelated to the union's claims, is inappropriate. It's a mess. Everybody's just like, nah, what? No. What? Um, Transferring union work to a non-union shell company is impermissible and appalling attempt to evade a strike action and destroy performers' rights under labor law. Yeah. So more striking, new companies added. Yeah. Let's see. Astrobot is getting a free update. I'm going to talk about a bit about the PlayStation State of Play. I won't go into too much detail on it. I'll just kind of give you, quote unquote, the hits. One such hit is that Astrobot is getting a free update with new speedrun levels and new character cameos from Helldivers, Stellar Blade, and others. Seems like it's going to be kind of more of a modern cameos. But that seems fun. And that's coming out this fall. There was a horror game that looked like claymation that seemed neat, but a Midnight Walk, but I'm not going to play that. Yeah, that's a PSVR 2 game, which is cool. There is a science fiction Souls-like kind of game called Hell Is Us that I was like, fuck off, get out of here. Metro Awakening has a November 7th PSVR 2 release scheduled. And it's been a long time since Metro Exodus. Now, yeah, we're getting Metro Awakening November for PSVR 2. I don't want to talk about that one. So we talked about the lawsuit, the patent infringement lawsuit in Japan, but also, hey, Pal World is coming to PlayStation. Is on PlayStation. That was an announcement. Was, hey, it's on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation Now. Not PlayStation Now. It's on PlayStation currently. PS5 and PS4 are getting 2 Lunar games. The Lunar Remastered Collection includes Lunar the Silver Star story complete and Lunar Eternal Blue complete with updated visuals and widescreen mode. Lunar is the best looking cover for a PlayStation game I've never played. For real. The cover art for Lunar is so fucking good. I was just like, is this anime? Never played a Lunar game, but that's cool. That feels like a long overdue inclusion. So I am happy for all the Lunar heads out there that they're getting some Lunar. Let's see what else we got. There's some DLC coming for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, a game that I keep saying that I am going to be playing because I got it for free, that I'm going to be doing some mods, and I just haven't done that stream yet because it just hasn't happened. The DLC, which adds new playable characters, Mondo Gecko, he's got a skateboard, and Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's in the game. It's a lady turtle. And they're getting a remixed soundtrack, and it's out. Oh, the DLC and the soundtrack is out. I came on, I forgot about that. Sonic X Shadow Generations has an update, and it's Keanu Reeves, everybody. If you forgot that Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow in the movie, He is, and he's also in a fucking video game as Shadow the Hedgehog. Um, there's levels based on the film. The update is coming December 12th. Hey, I'm going to say this right now. Fucking congratulations to Sega for doing Synergy. It's legitimately remarkable that anyone is doing anything like this, to be like, hey, Keanu Reeves is playing Shadow, and then he's going to voice Shadow in an update to the game. Like, yeah, you should be doing that. I mean, yes, it makes sense. It's smart. Good. There was an RPG I've never heard of, but it's got a soundtrack by Nobu Uematsu, and it's a Fantasian Neo Dimension turn-based game that does looks kind of cool. Comes out December 5th. It's a PS4 game as well as a 5. They're still making PS4 games. You've probably already seen Veilguard stuff. A bunch of influencers got video they could talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard. That shit's out there. I have never been a big Dragon Age fan. That is not my BioShock. I kind of leaned more towards Mass Effect. Although, as we all know, the best BioWare game is Sonic Brotherhood for the DS. That's right. That's definitely, clearly the best BioWare RPG ever. I don't actually think that, but I think that game is pretty fucking good. It's actually pretty fucking cool. But I don't think that it's the best RPG that BioWare has ever made. I almost said that BioShock has ever made. I meant BioWare. The game comes out on Halloween, which is a good time. And that trailer had a dragon in it. Fuck yeah. Okay. Alan Wake 2 DLC. Lake House. Seems a little spooky. It's coming out sometime this month. It's a bit too spooky for me. I wanted it to be a little bit more control and a little less Alan Wake. I understand why it's like that. I don't have to pretend to be into it. Curry says, I just noticed the gift sub. Thank you. Hell yeah. Lord Crashton says, fuck that house. Yeah. But yes, enjoy your gifted sub, Curry. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, Lord Crashington, shit's fucked. This expansion just seems scary, and I didn't want it to be scary. I wanted it to be weird. But I'm still going to fucking play it because Alan Wake 2 was good. So I'm going to play that. And also, the Alan Wake DLC, the first game's DLC, American Nightmare, was fucking rad as hell. So, and the Control DLC stuff was good too. Is it supposed to be the Alan Wake 1 Lake House? I think that's what it's supposed to be, Lord Crashington. Or like how Alan Wake sees it, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly. Hitman World of Assassination PS2 VR coming in December. Yeah, it might be that house. It might be the lake house. I think that's a fair assumption, but we won't know. More Hitman. I haven't played Hitman in a while. I should play more fucking Hitman. Hitman's so good. I should probably play more Hitman. I just haven't been interested to jump into the World Assassination in a while. I should. I'm looking for something familiar. You want to doink people with fire extinguishers in VR now? Yes. Throw a can of spaghetti at people in VR. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered is coming to PS4 and PS5 December 10th. That got leaked before the announcements. Fear the Spotlight is not an old game. It's just old vibes. That was at Summer Game Fest. That's coming out late October. That looked kind of fun. Not really my jam, but looked kind of fun. Let's see. I should find one last thing to say. All right, here'll be the last thing. Fear the Spotlight looked interesting. Yeah, I thought so. Here's the last thing I will say. Epic is bringing split screen mode to Lego Fortnite for support local play on one system. That's awesome. So Lego Fortnite specifically, not Fortnite in general. Lego Fortnite will have local split screen, and that seems cool. That's fun. That is a fun thing. That feels like a feature that people will be psyched about that are really into Lego Fortnite. Yeah, I thought that was neat. I thought that was a neat thing. Yeah. The trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds was cool. Some dancing, some silly little guys dancing. That was fun. You can pre-order Lego Horizon Adventures. Stellar Blade is getting a photo mode update. And the game soundtrack. Oh, and there's also a Nier collaboration coming. And there's a 2B skin they showed very briefly. Also, hey, if you have PlayStation Plus, depending on the levels, I don't pretend all that. You can get WWE 2K24. So this year's WWE 2K24 game, obviously not the DLC included. Doki Doki Literature Club, the original Legacy or Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, and Dino Crisis. Ghost Valve is excited about Monster Hunter Wild as early as end of February. Was expecting closer to summer next year. Hell yeah. That's cool. And then DualSense and covers and stuff and all that. The pro stuff, I don't care about any of that. Oh yeah, I should mention Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. So Sucker Punch is making a sequel to their very successful game that people really liked by making another game that is the sequel to that. I wish that the announcement trailer had the main character, Atsu, speaking words. As you know, I do not care that there has not been a female samurai. One, because it does not say at any point that she is a samurai. And two, because it's not historical fiction, it's a fucking video game, and I don't give a fucking shit. Erika Ishii fuck rules. They're rad as hell. I do not care that Erika Ishii is like I'm psyched that Erika Ishii is in the game. Erika Ishii does not have to be playing a real person or anything based on anything real for that game for me to be like, oh well, if she's not going to be real, then what do we would do? Like, fuck you, I don't care. Not fuck you, but you know what I mean. She could say whatever. Yes, she dared to block people who were being shitty to her, and it's like, yeah. You should get blocked. Don't be shitty. Didn't owe you anything. You're gonna buy the game and pretend you aren't. So yeah, shouldn't owe people shit. We are going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways that you, the viewer, can support what I do here. You are under no obligation to do any of the things that I'm going to mention here. If you would like to, that would be great. But again, this is just for your information. This is my ad reads, but all my ads are about me. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support me because you're already here on Twitch through using Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If Amazon Prime, you can link that with your Twitch. You get a token. You can use that for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great, and I would appreciate it. But obviously, you don't have to do that. You could also gift a sub. It is September, so from now until October 1st, any new sub, if you're new and you get a new sub here, you get 25% off that. And if you gift 5 subs, a random amount of bonus subs will be given. And a reminder, even if you're, for me or anyone else, you're gifting a sub, you're subscribing yourself, don't use the Twitch app to do that. You can watch on the Twitch app, sure. You can chat on the Twitch app, but don't spend money on the Twitch app because you pay the tax that or the fee that Apple is charging to Twitch. They pass on the payments to you. But yeah, we got gifted subs. Aristofan gifted 5 subs, which means Twitch gifted 2 subs, which was weird and fun. And we're now at 34 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. All of this ends at October 31st or November 1st at like 10 a.m., something like that. So this all wraps up pretty soon. But if you want to subscribe, or 30th, because there's 30 days in September. But if you want to subscribe, that would be great. You've got tonight's stream and Saturday stream and Monday stream where I will remind you about these cool things that you can do if you want to. If you want to subscribe or you want to help me out financially on a monthly basis, but you don't feel like doing it through Twitch, I got you. I understand. Might I recommend Patreon? Patreon.com/PatBear. I have a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I'm going to be recording a Q&A this month, or this weekend, I should say, for this month. I do a monthly Q&A. It's my only exclusive content, and that's for all patrons at any tier. So consider that. I got one question that was completely wild that I'm hoping another person sends me a question, but right now I only have one, and it's a really weird one, and I'm excited to answer it. I had to really think about it. And I was like, oh, I think I have a good answer for this now. But I was like, I don't know what to say. It was wild. Anyway, also I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube, if you wanted to subscribe over there, subscribing is free. But if you want to become a member, that costs money. And just $2 a month. $2 a month over there on YouTube, you become a member. And you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. Sorry to say that. So the video that everyone is watching now that went up yesterday for everyone, you could have watched that on Tuesday if you want to know about the last of the isekai shows that I'm recommending. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you want to support me on a weekly. If you want to support me just once in a while, I have a Ko-Fi and I have a PayPal, so you can directly donate to that. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits, like the Gaia Gundam. I was able to pick up this kit because of past used generosities helping present me. So if you want to help out future me, you could, subscribe in any one of those varieties. Now, this kit came out of my backlog. I have more stuff coming in my backlog soon. The next thing that I will be assembling is actually from my Amazon wish list and arrived in the mail yesterday. The Lego Technic dump truck right here. That's going to be okay, there we go. The Lego Technic dump truck is the next thing that I will be assembling. Thank you very much to Aristofan for picking that up. It is the first time that I will be working on a Lego Technic on stream. I've done it like once before on my own. And it's a 2-in-1 where the second build, the instructions are not printed. I have to go on their website. So I'll be using my iPad mini for that, which it's been a while since I did that on a stream. But yeah, that's the next thing I'll be building. Now, that was, as I said, that was bought off my Amazon wish list. If you would like to see me build something that you purchased and it jumped the queue and got a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, you can go to my Amazon wish list. Again, much like Aristofan did. I got Lego sets. I got model kits. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. I have kits that never seem to go on sale. I have another Lego Technic on there that looks neat. I have kits that drop in price fluctuate in price all the time. All kinds of different things and things. Did I recently add anything in there? I don't think I've recently added anything. Um, but yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that I'd be happy to put together that all look rad. I include stuff in my wish list that I would be interested in building. I don't put up things in there that I'd be like, oh. And there's some gear at the bottom. It's always nice to have some gear options, so I threw in a few pieces of gear if you want to do that. I mean, yeah. And again, dedicated video and jumps the queue if you build a model or you buy a model kit for me to build. I have a throne wish list. That's my alternative to Amazon. I got to go and update that list because it's been a little bit since I updated it. And then the most convoluted way to support me is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will email you a gift card code. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or a chat on Blue Sky or a private mention on Mastodon. I used all the correct terms, except I still call it Twitter instead of calling it X. But yeah, send me that gift card code, and then I will buy something from USA Gundam Store. People have done this. I'm not just making it up. People have done that. They have made it so that I can purchase those things, which is very kind of them. Sorry. PCL, and then which one's is this PCL then? Okay, so this is PCL. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm so excited to talk to you about things and things that I got distracted by the things and things. All right, I think that's it. Oh, if you want to support me and not spend any money, go to my Discord. My Discord is full of awesome people. I would love to have you join the Discord. You're welcome to go there and hang out. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is a good place full of good people, and we would love to have you there. A couple video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. That is the episode that we recorded live on stream on Tuesday. But currently, the current episode that's on my YouTube is me talking about what I think is going to be the next big thing in anime, the banished subgenre. I just think, I think it's gonna be pretty big. And so I talked about that in the video. And then Kuma Baer, my weekly anime recommendation series, where every week I recommend a different anime, and every month there's a new theme. This month's theme was isekai, so we're ending things by talking about a wonderful isekai, a stellar example of the otome genre, where someone is isekai'd into a different world that is based on like a visual novel or dating game kind of thing. This is My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, a incredible example of a character who is both incredibly smart and very stupid. Katarina knows how the game is supposed to play out, and she knows she's the villainess. And her attempts she does not think she's being successful in her attempts to change people and change her future. And then sometimes she thinks she's being very clever, and she's not. She's just a doof, but she's very lovable, and she's just so good-hearted and good-natured that it's kind of working out for her. It's very funny and great action, excellent scenes, great character development. She starts off as a young child. It does not last long before she's then an adult, and it's good nonsense. I think you'll like it. That's My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. Now, I am going to drink some water, and then I am going to talk to you about some anime. Lashbrook says, speaking of gear, you might appreciate that I managed to save from the salvage at work a DisplayPort mini DP adapter, and a 2000s Apple non-standard USB cable that was used for powering their keyboard mouse combos. Oh yeah, that's a nice little bit of kit to have. A DisplayPort mini DP adapter. Yeah, those are both things. Those are both things to just have in a drawer, honestly, or a box or a bin or something. Like, those are just nice to have for weird emergencies. Okay, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to drink some water because I need to do that. We're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera. I'm going to talk about some anime. I'm going to talk about episode 12 of 13 of Oshi no Ko, season 2. And then I'm going to talk about a show that I watched the first 3 episodes of. And I'm going to give like an overview, probably not of all 3 episodes, but just like an overview of my feelings and vibes about it. Alya hides her feelings in Russian. Talk about both those. But first and foremost, we're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, and we will do so right now. All right, I got tiny stickers that I have to apply. So let me just look at this real quick here before we get into the anime talk. Okay, so this one is this one goes on one side. That should be obvious to see. Okay. I skipped a step. I went to the like parts of the backpack without doing the actual backpack first. Episode 12 of Oshi no Ko is fucking wild. At the end of episode 11, we basically learned, the audience learned, that Ruby and Aqua's father, or the person they presume is, or the person that Aqua presumes is his dad, may have approached Ruby. We don't talk about that anymore. We don't acknowledge that. We're moving on. We're moving on to. We start with a short scene of Serena and Goru. You may be asking yourself, Pat, who are those characters? Well, you may remember Sarina as the young girl that died of cancer, who got reincarnated as Ruby. And you might remember Goru as the young doctor who was treating Serena and became interested in knowing more about the idol that Serena loved, and Goru became a fan of hers as well. And then he died, and then he got reincarnated as Aqua. And Aqua and Ruby are Ai's children, because fate is weird. So you may remember all of that. That's important because we have not seen flashbacks of these characters in quite some time. So it was kind of interesting to suddenly be seeing them. What last week's episode, it did not occur to me because I couldn't fucking remember. I fucked up on this one. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna go to the town of Miyazaki. They're going to Miyazaki, and they're gonna record a music video for the song they're working on. It did not occur to me in that moment. Oh, wait, that's the town that Serena and Goru are from. Oh, that's fucking weird. They're going to where like he died. Because again, Ruby and Ruby and Aqua do not know that the other is also reincarnation. Hey, just under spicy. So I was like, oh shit. Once I realized, it took me into the episode to realize like, oh, yeah, that's fucked that he's going to go to this town. Like, I can understand why he didn't want to go. The fact that Ruby didn't seem bothered was kind of a surprising thing. Apparently the person that is doing this video is Anemone. Anemone is going to direct this video. They seem kind of weird. But they convince Menchong to convince the rest of them that this is the thing they should do. So they are convinced about that, which is why they're all traveling. Akane is also with them. And Kana is not happy about that. Apparently, Ruby is convinced that Akane and Aqua should be a couple. and thinks that like is rooting for them. So she apparently ships her brother and Akane, which is not super surprising considering all the stuff that she's been through herself. Um, all of her unfocused trauma that we don't really get to see too much of. Let's see. So they all travel. Um, they're looking at statues. There's a whole thing about the goddess of performing arts that's there, and I had to write this down. Ame no Uzume no Mikoto, because so I am now convinced that what this reincarnation plot is somehow influenced by the goddess of performing arts that everyone in this town, not everyone in this town, but a lot of people in the town worship and pay respect to, because it kind of felt like out of nowhere they were suddenly talking about this goddess, and then there's something that happens later that made me go, okay. So I think, again, I don't know, but I think that this was like foreshadowing. In Persona 4, when they go on a field trip and then they learn about the gods, and it turns out that the gods that the story they learn about is like the main villain in the game. And when you're watching this, you're going like, who are these characters? What is this? Why are we learning about this history? And it's like, oh no, actually we're being introduced to the main villain of the plot. It's like, oh, okay. Let's see. So yeah, they worship the deity. Akane wants to go visit the shrine. Akane and Aqua don't have anything else to do. Aqua wants to go to the hospital because he's like, this hospital is important for me and for Ruby, because that's the hospital where they were born in. Because that's where I went to go have kids, to have her kids. They go to the hospital. Aqua speaks to one of the workers there, and he asked her questions about Goro, and apparently Goro has been missing. So we know that he's dead. He's been dead for years, but apparently he's been missing this whole time, which is kind of shocking to Aqua. They go to the hilltop where he died, and Aqua kind of in vain looks for the corpse of his former life, and he doesn't find it. So he's kind of thinking that might be completely pointless. They go to Goro's former home, and Aqua is like, this is an old family friend. And he starts talking to her about that and how there's no family there to speak of. There's nobody to miss this guy. But he's basically just talking about how this dude exists, and he's talking about himself, which is interesting. Then we get a flashback, and Goro is there with Serena, and she is sick. And Goro is holding a keychain of I. And we cut to some kind of weird gray-haired girl who is like a crow. And that's new. And that made me say out loud to myself, oh, that's probably the deity, the local deity. Oh, okay. They're not going to necessarily definitely explain that this has to do with magic or the powers of a goddess, but that's my guess, is we are supposed to consider that this is the work of a goddess. Okay. So weird shit's happening. But it gets weirder, friends. Let's see. Yeah, that happens. They're working on the music video. The group rejoins them. There's a bunch of talk about how the music video is going to work. Kana tries to make Akane jealous and get a positive reaction from Aqua, and she really doesn't. Because she's still trying to get this dude that's pretty much dead inside to flirt with her or want to pursue her. And it's just not working, and it's sad, girl. Come on. So this is the part, this is like the backpack, but it's really not the backpack. This is honestly actually the tail, kind of, for their mode, and I have to put tiny stickers on it. So I'm going to do these tiny stickers now. Let me figure out where this tiny sticker goes here before I move on to get into the craziest thing of this episode. Okay. After filming, Akane and Ruby go out for a walk. They're just kind of hanging out. Again, Ruby does want Akane to get together with her brother. Ruby is again Serena. So she's reincarnated. And they find a crow. Not the crow lady. This is just a crow. And the crow steals Ruby's room key. So they give chase to the crow, and as they're trying to track this crow down to get this hotel room key, they start talking, and Ruby wants Akane to join the group, and Akane definitely doesn't want to be part of an idol group. But Akane is like, I have other dreams, or no, Ruby's like, I have other dreams, and one of my dreams is to also get into acting, because, she's trying to do all the stuff that, she's trying to do both all the stuff that her mother did, but also do all the stuff that I wanted to do. Also, apparently, she's worried about an age gap because there's a guy that she likes that's older. And she doesn't know if it's too old. Now, hey, guess what? The old guy that she's talking about, that's right. She had a crush on her doctor, who is now her brother. But she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that Goru is dead. She now knows that Goru is dead because the crow has been leading them to a cave, and in that cave, they discover a dead body. And that dead body is Goru's dead body. How did that dead body be there for that long without anyone finding it ever, especially with them being a missing persons for all that time? Who knows? Did the crow put it there for them to find it? Who can say? What I can say is the episode ends with Ruby freaking out on the inside because she was just talking about her crush who is now dead. And that's the end of episode 12 of 13. And that's fucking wild. Sorry, I just had a light flash there. Hopefully everything's gonna be okay. That was a fucking wild end of an episode. There's one more episode left this season, and you know how I said, like, oh, this should have ended with him finding out that, like, his dad was dead or whatever. I take that back. They got fucking wild with it. They're going weird with it. We are doing the stuff I've wanted to see all season, which is deal with the whole murder investigation and all of that. We're now getting to maybe understand a little bit of what's going on, which is great and weird. Very excited about that. The show's fucking kicking off, and I'm here for it. I'm very happy about it. One more episode left of Oshi no Ko Season 2, because it just started a little late in the season. I thought I'd be done with this kit here, but it's been taking me a little while to pursue it or finish it. We are going to finish this kit tonight because we are basically body complete on it, but now we have to build the small little bits we need for the transformation. Also, there are beam sabers. We don't have to worry about that. I'm not even going to include those. But those beam sabers are just purple, and they're right here. Okay, so Alya Hides Her Feelings in Russian is a show that I just never got around to watching, but I was encouraged to check it out because I was told that actually, Pat, it's a very good bit of romantic comedy, and I had only had one romance show this season. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I will say that I really love the premise, but the first episode laid out the premise, which I'll explain in a minute, and was great. And then it immediately pulled one of the most obnoxious, easy romantic comedy like goofs possible. And I was just like, really? Like immediately you're going to go to the well, the most obvious well. So here's the premise. Our girl's half Russian. She's named Lisa, but she goes by Alya. And she has a crush on her classmate that sits near her. Masachika. She has a crush on Masachika, but she makes fun of him to his face because he's a slacker. So she's always kind of like insulting him. Now, she says that she's insulting him in Russian. But in fact, she is flirting with him in Russian because she's not able to flirt with him just regular. She's like too embarrassed to do that. So she's flirting with him in Russian. Oh, wait. One of these legs is on backwards. It's this leg is on backwards, huh? Yeah. That's on backwards. Wait, which one is which? One of these is incorrect, and the other one is correct. It's this one. This one was incorrect. Okay. So she's flirting with him in Russian. She's like, saying things. And you're like, oh, that's perfect. She just says that they're insults because she's half Russian. No one will ever know. No one can ever know. It's the perfect crime. She can avoid her embarrassment. He'll never know. Nobody speaks Russian except he can't speak it quite that well, but he understands Russian because at some point when he was younger, he liked a girl. He knew a girl and liked that girl, and she was Russian. So he learned enough Russian to get by to communicate with her. So he understands what she's saying, and he has decided to pretend as best he can that he does not know what she is saying because it's so fucking awkward. And calling her out would expose the fact that he knows this whole time, so he doesn't say anything. And you're like, great. He's got a childhood friend that also probably likes him. Alya's in the student council. Her sister Maria is there, so she can't flirt in Russian there. And Yuki is her rival, but Yuki is also wants to bring in Masachika in there. So great premise, super into it. Let me take a photo of this before I start getting mad about this show. I like the premise a lot. I think it's a unique thing. I think it's a cool idea. I was looking for something like this. I heard good things about it. So that's the A plot. Is just like the A story is like just getting all the information out, letting us know what's going on. Then it's like, okay, now how do they interact? What are they going to do together? What are we going to see here? They're alone in the classroom, and so she's got wet socks on, and she dares him to help her put new socks on. And it's just like out of the blue and very weird. And why does he agree to it? Why does she do it? Is she trying to taunt him, but she likes him? Why is she doing this? It doesn't make any sense. None of what happened there makes any sense at all. But that is what happens in the episode. So it's weird. That's weird that happened. He does it. He ends up like with his face underneath her skirt. And so she punches him and then like feels bad about punching him. But then it's revealed that he saw her underwear. And she like punches him and kicks at him and runs away. And then he chases after her to apologize. And then she accepts it and apologizes. and then she goes back to flirting with him in Russian, pretending like she's insulting him. And it's like the "I saw your panties" thing happens in episode one of the most trite things outside of like, because it includes the tripping and falling thing. Like, they literally do that, and it's just like, what are we fucking doing here? Are we're really for real doing the, like, one of the, like, walking in on her naked is the only more obnoxiously obvious thing that could have happened here. So for them to do this, I was just like, oh wow, you're really not doing yourself any favors here. Anime that I was told is pretty fun. So I was already like, meh. Um, but like I said, I watched 3 episodes. I didn't want to just leave it there. Um, Yuki, we were introduced in the first episode as the childhood friend, is trying to get Masachika, our dude, into the student council. Introduces him to the student council president. Um, Anya is going to be the council president next year, so that's a good reason for him not to actually want to be in there. Um, and also, this is a thing that we didn't know. We found out Yuki is actually not just the childhood friend. Uh, Yuki is Masachika's sister, but they have a different family name. And so their rival, Alya's rival, is actually his real sister, and she just hasn't told anybody because she thinks it's funny that they don't know. Which, like, at a certain point, it's just like, you have to tell people this stuff. But I do understand why she hasn't told anyone, because she thinks it's hilarious to not have anybody know. And I do think that it's interesting. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It does mean that the childhood friend is not a romantic partner, and we're not dealing with, if we're dealing with a love triangle, it is one that the main character is aware that is not a thing. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Um, I have been watching the show because I am not above watching very pretty trash, and I don't think the show is going to get better for you. Also, this is capital P problem. Yes, I got the vibe that this girl wanting to mess with people and not wanting people to know that she is Masachika's sister is going to lead to a lot of fucking bullshit. Like, that was my initial impression. I was like, oh, this isn't going to go great for our dude. Um, uh, Alya wears some clothes. We get in episode 2. I'm gonna wear some different outfits to entice you. Then Yuki catches her. Um, and then she sees that Yuki and Masachika at the end of the episode get off at the same station, implying that they live close together. Which is like, yes, well, one, because they live together, because they're family, and two, yes, because they're childhood friends. So of course they would be probably neighbors. But yeah, episode 3. I didn't write too much about episode 3. Um, Alya's sister teases her about the dude, because she's aware that her sister has a crush, so she's going to get teased about it. And we find out that Alya had some conflicts in Russia in school for being an overachiever. And she didn't like Masachika. Masachika and his sister actually don't live together. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that was stated. But if it was, I missed it. So maybe that's later that they're like, oh yeah, they don't live together. What just happened here? Needed the same subscriber agreement. Okay. Sure, I'll read that later. Um, But apparently he seemed lazy, so she didn't like him at first. But then he helped with the festival, and he convinced other people to help. So he's not necessarily lazy; he just acts lazy, but he really does care, and that led to her developing a crush on him because turns out that he's not actually a delinquent or anything. Apparently, her nickname was Princess, and she allows him to use her nickname Alya, her actual nickname, instead of Elisa. And Maria is convinced that they're going to be a couple. And then Maria ends up doing a thing for the student council with Masachika and thinks that she recognizes him from somewhere. And Masachika, we find out, Masachika parent is a child of divorce. So Maria hugs him because it's a awkward moment, and he feels like that hug is familiar, and then she ends up spilling hot tea on him, so it ends. So I do not want to know the answer to this because I'm done after 3 episodes. One could assume that the girl that he learned Russian for is either Alya or Maria. Perhaps sometime during the pre-divorce, when he, before he moved or something, one could assume that the girl that he was learning Russian for to be able to communicate better with is the girl that he is now listening to flirt with him in Russian. Like I think that is just an easy thing. I think it would be more interesting if it was actually Maria and this whole time that he was talking to her, Marina, I should say, because I think that's way more fun. And it wasn't romantic. It was just like a weird coincidence, but that leads to a bunch of misunderstandings. I don't know. Or he knows both sisters, and it was that he was learning it for 2 girls, and he conflated both of them in his head. I don't know. All I know is this seemed kind of fun. I don't know the answer, but I kind of took the implication it was supposed to be Maria. Okay, yeah. Either way, at the end of 3 episodes that I watched over 2 days, I can tell you I don't plan to continue it. I might watch one of the dubbed episodes because my old friend Sarah Natacheni is doing the main character voice, and that's rad and fucking awesome for her. So I was thinking maybe I would watch at least one dubbed episode just to say I could, or to say that I did. So I might do that. Again, I don't know for sure if I'm going to, but I might. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What's got you excited about stuff? I want to thank everybody. While I give you time to write that in chat, what you're up to and into, we'll say thank you to everybody that came by on Tuesday for the Tuesday stream. I had a really good time talking for over 2 hours about anime. My summer recap or wrap up and my spring preview, I think, went very well. So thank everybody. Thank you everybody for joining me for that. I always love doing those. I've been playing Hearthstone. I've got a couple decks I like in Hearthstone right now, and I've been enjoying my time playing those decks. They have been pretty fun. And now I am done building these parts here. There's a couple of things I need to add on, but we are ready to do the transformation on this kit. We are ready to put on the parts we need to put on, like the front paws, as it were, replacing the arms. So this transformation includes these extra parts here, which we've added on. These things love to fall off, which is not fun. All right, so I've done that. So now we have paws. And then these have to move at the ankle here. which is really easy. The way they made these double jointed is great. So yeah, I like I said, I watched some new anime. I'm going to try to do that for Saturday's stream. I will attempt to watch something. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch. I do have two options of things, or I have three shows that I would like to check out at some point. So over the next couple of days, the first new show of the season started today, Loner Life in Another World. And I don't know if I'm going to get to that on Saturday. Saturday is the last episode of Dungeon People. So either I'll talk about Dungeon People and Loner Life in Another World, or I'll wait till Monday to talk about Loner Life. It depends. And then also, I do want to talk about Elusive Samurai maybe, or Sakuna, or Mayo Naka Punch. I don't know. But I will talk about the last episode of Dungeon People, because that's wrapping up. So I will have that on Saturday. And again, I don't know, because my stuff that I talked about on Monday is over. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that. All right. And then this thing on here is going to come down. How does that work? This is the head. Oh, did I put this on upside? I put this on backward. I put this on upside down. This piece that goes on the back here is actually goes like this. So this piece of the back goes like this and goes over, and this becomes the head of the kit here. So there he goes. There's the head. Does that work? There it goes. Okay. So there's the head of this animal mode. So I'll read what y'all have to say here in a second. Let me just try to get this part done. Oh, I wanted to take this piece off here. This goes... Where does this go? Oh, it goes under? Oh, it's like a chest piece there. Oh, that's annoying. It shows me like the shield having a red piece on there, and that's not a sticker. Like that's annoying that they would show me that color there, because that color's not on there. But this becomes like the chest kind of. But I don't know how that would attach. Oh, it just kind of shuffles in there. I don't know how this is supposed to attach, but it is supposed to attach like that. Like that. Sorry, this just got weird because I'm like, where? This piece is supposed to fit in somewhere like that, but I can't figure that out. I've heard this transformation looked good, but I'm just not understanding. There's literally no there's no like wording here. It's just like this piece pops up. This is supposed to fit up in there somewhere. Let's see. Aristophan says, I continue to watch Agatha all along, which has been very good. It's been good, I should say. I started the new Zelda game. Hell yeah. Enjoy new Zelda. That seems rad. Let's see. Ghost Valve still doing chill Monster Hunter in your free time. Nice, nice, nice. Not too much else. Okay. Oh, this goes here. There's a spot on this shoulder piece for the gun. That's cool. But yeah, how do I get this to go? This piece, this is supposed to slip underneath and be kind of becomes the underbelly of the kit, which is a fun idea, but I don't know how it snaps on, or it's like tension fit, and I don't know how that works, because that doesn't work and that doesn't work. Lastberg says, I finally started Delicious in Dungeon. Hell yeah. And it's good, but I kind of inadvertently been spoiled on what seems to be the main story, unless two different characters have the same name. I also started playing the new Zelda game, and it's fun so far. Enjoy the more puzzle aspects of it. Nice. So the only thing I will tell you, and this is not, I'm not going to spoil anything about Delicious in Dungeon, is you may have gotten spoiled on some stuff, but also that anime makes some strong, bold choices, so you may not have been spoiled at all. Um, it it just goes places. That show fucking goes. Okay, I figured it out, folks. There is a piece that I did not attach. I missed it. There is a piece that goes on the shield that will do what I need to do. Like, the reason why it's not attaching is because I didn't do a step. So it wasn't that I didn't understand, is that I didn't do it right. So there you go. Lord Crash says, I watched 3 episodes of 6 of the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix, and it's been good so far. I haven't watched most of the WWE docs, so most of this is new to me. The vast majority of these interviews being before the big allegations came out gives it some weird vibes, especially when Vince brags about having wild stories that he could tell but won't. Seeing how the company was weakening in the early to mid 90s and WCW just signing the WWE top talent, while Vince claimed it was anti-competitive. Yes. So, here's the thing about the McMahon documentary. It's made by the Tiger King production company, who's made a ton of, I think it's Chris Smith. He's made a ton of documentaries that you may be aware of. And it is for the Netflix crowd that watches documentaries about Netflix, right? It is not for a dedicated wrestling audience. For people that are deep into wrestling lore, you know most of these stories. Like, I am aware of most, if not all, of the stories that are being presented, but it's not necessarily for me. There are facts and stuff in there that is interesting, like the fact that the billionaire Ted skits they did to make fun of Ted Turner, one of the reasons why they stopped doing that is because a USA executive was friends with Ted and didn't like it. And I was like, that's a piece of information that we never had confirmed, but was always speculated that one of the reasons they stopped doing it was someone at USA was mad about it. But now we had a bit more confirmation of that, which is interesting. Oh, okay. So there's one last step to do on here before we wrap up this kit. And what actually did turn out to be a pretty cool transformation. Pretty easy transformation, I'd say. But yeah, so if you are really abreast of all this information, you might not like this documentary series because it does not go deep enough. Also, if you are looking for it to be a scathing indictment of Vince McMahon with some directorial authority, it does not have that. This style of documentary, which some people respond to and other people don't, is not the style of documentary where the documentarian is a main character or a driving force in it. They got access to Vince McMahon, a thing that a lot of people will never get. Vince McMahon does not do these kind of interviews. Netflix did a documentary. There was a documentary about Andre the Giant, and Vince saw it and Vince liked it, and he wanted a documentary like that. So he gave them access and did interviews. And the style of this, which again is not common for Vince to do this kind of interview. The style they went with is Vince says a thing or talks about a thing, and then they go to somebody that contradicts him, and they go back and forth. There is very few instances where on the screen they say something to contradict it. If they don't have someone to contradict it, it stands and it's not fought. They didn't go out of their way to find people to just say what they wanted that person to say, or to find people to contradict the things he was saying. And it goes back and forth. And some people hate that style. So basically it's like, here's the thing Vince said. Here's somebody else saying Vince is ridiculous for that. And they don't push back on Vince. There's not a, wait, what do you mean? You said that Vince McMahon and Mr. McMahon are two different people, and now you're saying something else. Why are you contradicting yourself? They don't do that. They go out of their way to not do that, and instead let Kim make a case. And the basic idea is Vince McMahon a monster or a psychopath? You decide, is kind of the stance they take, which some people were hoping for a better indictment of it. The last episode goes into allegations. And the beginning of the first episode goes into that kind of stuff because this was done largely before the latest round of allegations were made. This is the character study of a very weird person and his history and the history of wrestling and WWE. And for some people, they already know that shit, so they didn't need that. And for other people, it's vastly interesting for them to be able to do this because they are treating it like they would treat any other documentary on a person. And wrestling fans are like the animal raising community in America reacting to Tiger King, being like, oh, why didn't you talk about this? And why didn't you talk about that? And why didn't you push back on this stuff? And it's like, because that's not the documentary they're making. For good or bad, that's not what they're making. Hulk bragging about narking on the union talk. Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan's a whole other wild nonsense thing. Vince's various scandals. Yes. Let's see. Vince talked about issues about Ted Turner was using his money to compete with WWF, while the guy asks how he can make that claim when he took all the top talent of the territories to run them out of business. Yes. So very rarely, because I think what they found was when they pushed back on Vince, he shut down or the people around him moved the conversation. So they just stopped pushing back and just let him say whatever. And then they had other people disagree with him. So we finished this. This is it. Oh, it's 11. I didn't realize. I wanted to finish this kit because it didn't make sense to me to finish the legs on the transformation on Saturday. So on Saturday we're going to start a Lego set. But yeah, I thought this transformation is pretty cool. And I think it is a cool piece of business. I don't know if I love the transformation as much as I was led to believe I would love it, but I do think it's pretty cool. Oops, and I do think it's pretty neat. So overall, I think the transformation's pretty cool, but I wouldn't say it's as cool as like I said, as people said it would be. But I will take a photo of that once the stream is done. This has been the Gaia Gundam, and that's the end of our stream. So what happens now, Pat? Well, we're going to go on a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool shit out there and go spend some time with them. So I do invite you to come along on this raid. My next stream will be Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am starting this Lego Technic kit. So we're going to have some fun with Lego. And that'll be very fun. It's a 2-in-1. So we'll get started on that. Who we're going to hang out with? How long has this person been streaming? Because I have not rated them in quite some time. So let's see. They've only been going for 2 hours, so I expect they will go a little longer. So we're going to go hang out with Lunar Jade. Heather is Good People. Heather is playing Rogue Legacy 2. They've been playing that for a while. So we're going to go hang out with Heather. I hope you come along on this stream. On this raid, I should say, as we go hang out with Heather. And when Heather wraps up, Heather will raid someone cool, because they do that as well. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you come along on this raid. Thank you for the gifted subs, Aristofan. Thanks for everybody hanging out, for chatting with me as I built this cool model kit. I'll see you on Saturday for a fun Lego set. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.